Hello everyone, welcome to the first actual sort of proper video made on this channel. I'm gonna be basically just waffling over over the footage I've got from TeamSport Liverpool. This was a this was a grid series race session. So we did a quick practice and then 3 heats into a race. I think it went alright. I hadn't been back to TeamSport Liverpool for quite a long time. So it was quite nice to just go and have a bit of fun. Now that I don't take it anywhere near as seriously as I used to. And as you can see, these guys just I'm not sure if we were meant to do this, so I'm just waving bye-bye.
In a bit, guys.
Normally when we grid up, we drive down to the grid and then stop, but I think these guys were a bit newer, so they didn't quite get the memo. And then we're just getting the wave around. We're just weaving quite a lot to try and get the tyres, and more importantly the brakes, to be honest, nice and warm. And at this point, after we've come up the ramp, we get stopped to be waved through to the grid in our proper positions. So that makes me think we were actually meant to do this, potentially. But that was never communicated to us at any point prior. So... And then I just give Callum a bit of a finger wag, coming in quite quickly to the back of our line. And now we are simply playing the waiting game, so I'm going to cut ahead to when we're on the grid, waiting for lights out. And with the magic of YouTube editing, we are now here on the grids, waiting for the last few cars to line up behind us. And what you're about to witness, as we get some lovely hand signals from the car next to us, what you're about to witness, I can only describe as chaos. It was a bit of a melee, I won't lie. And this is an inherent sort of issue, I guess you could say, with indoor karting. But I find it quite funny. And I find it, yeah, nice one. And I find it quite fun. Just everyone bashing into each other. It is really quite something. I think that I understand why the marshalling is harsh, because at the end of the day, the cards are expensive. They don't want people bashing into them. So you gotta try and stop it, but what you're about to watch was some of the most enjoyable racing I've had. Actually, you know what? That's not really true. It wasn't really racing. It was more bumper cars. Which, of course, has its own little charm to it. And as we're waiting for the red lights, we've got 3, 4, and 5 red lights. And quite quickly it goes green. Get a pretty good launch into turn 1, get past one car, and then immediately becomes a traffic jam. And as you can see, as we're about to go into this next corner, this poor kart 39 just gets driven unbelievably wide and gets yeeted into the barrier. And at this point, we are able to just sort of slot in behind this car in front of us. And we're going to try and work with him to carve through some of this pack. Touch the apex of that corner there, pretty silly, but at the end of the day it's only lap 1 and we're about to try and go for a move on the kart in front of us with this green suit on. Getting alongside for this turn 1 corner, sort of complex. As long as you're in the inside of turn 1, you've pretty much got the corner guaranteed to yourself. There's not a lot the outside car can do to defend that position. From here, I'm pretty sure we are settling in. Oh, no, I forgot about this. The kart's randomly switched to speed 3. This is a feature of the TeamSport Liverpool cars, is every now and again they love to just randomly go on speed 3. And I think I was quite lucky this time that all the cars went to speed 3. Because there have been incidents where only one kart has gone to speed 3, and it's basically ruined their race. But yeah, we got away with it this time. Now as we're coming through the combat kart section, really tight, narrow section. It's almost Monaco-esque. Not much overtaking going on through here unless someone makes quite a significant error, and then down towards the hairpin for the upper ramp. I go defensive, and Johnny... in fact, that's not Johnny Pinder. This guy in the kart 49 makes an absolutely insane send. Fair play to him. Bit of a shunt there. Not a lot I could do to avoid that. But at this point, I'm in cruise mode. So I'm going to leave you with no commentary for a little bit while we just settle into this race. And there's Johnny Pinder. I think I waved my hand at him a little bit. I think I felt a bit aggrieved by that move. But at the end of the day, he's done it with no contact. And yeah. And I think from this point on, I don't get overtaken. But I also can't remember whether I overtake anyone for the rest of this race. It may have been a bit of a dull one. Unless this kart is the kart I think it is. Front. Yep, never mind. I think I'm just going to stop trying to predict what happens. Even though I've done it already and I should know what happens. When you do 3 heats back to back to back next to each other and then a race shortly after, it all kind of blurs together. Very unfortunate for that kart. And as you can see, this car in front of us on the left-hand side of this little 2 wide going on down the bridge is about to become our next victim. As we go for the switch back into the final chicane, doesn't quite happen. We're going to just stay patient. And at this point I'm thinking, I got to get past this guy quickly. Because at this point he's holding me up. And I know that the drivers behind me are not going to wait for me to get past him. So I need to get past as quickly as I can, whilst also not doing anything too insane. So right here, don't quite have the run out of the sort of double left-hander, and as you can see, I have been overtaken by Mr. Callum Jones himself. Slightly unfortunate, as I know my pace was much better than this car in front, but unfortunate. And there's I trying to point forward to signal Callum to try and work together to move forward, and if memory serves, which so far in this video it hasn't, I don't believe we end up getting past this car by the end. So I'm just gonna skip to the end. And lo and behold, as the checkered flag falls, we were not able to make it past this car. I felt a bit disappointed that we couldn't get past him, because at the end of the day I think mine and Callum's pace was just a touch over this one, but at the end of the day it is what it is. And now we're gonna just skip ahead to the grid for the next race. Alright, now, as you're about to see, this next race is well, it's chaos on another level. I believe it's not been quite this bad for a while. It starts off with the green suited car on the left, not getting a particularly great start, and as the kart 46 gets an amazing run around the outside, it's bumper cars all the way down, all the way through combat karts. And as we have one car on the right and one on the left, oh god, he's been absolutely killed, and I don't think there was really anything I could have done about this. I believe when I get my penalty in a minute, that was what it was for, but I feel like there's not a lot I could have really done. Moving forward, going into this chicane, I feel like I was pretty good into this chicane compared to the other drivers. I was feeling very confident on the brakes and on the exit. Big shunt as this blue suited driver gets a little bit too much on the brakes. Runs wide there, and then we set up for an absolutely orgasmic switchback. Almost got both of them. The driver in the red suit being able to get a better drive out the corner than us, defending from the car behind. And now I think you'll see I do this quite a lot going down the ramp, where I try to swing out to the inside, almost baiting like I'm going to make a move, try and make them panic. And then again, down to turn one, we've got the inside line, it's almost a foregone conclusion. That is a really easy place to make overtakes, as long as you can get alongside, so it kind of depends on the driver in front making a mistake. But if you can get alongside there, it's an amazing place for an overtake. Forward, I do realise that this car's gone incredibly wide, and so we're going to be able to get the overtake here. Just launching down the inside. And now we're going to try and make our way closer towards this pack, and hopefully count on the concertina effect to help us catch up. And then there's just the whole grid. wiped out on the left-hand side. Not quite sure what's gone on there, but happy to take away a couple of places. That was not my penalty point, that was the car behind. Incredibly wide from the highlighter suit into the hairpin. Gonna be making our way down into the final chicane again. And at this point I think a lot of people are starting to get held up by this driver in the light blue suit. So people are going to start getting aggressive, trying to get past the slightly slower driver, including me apparently. I'm going to make multiple attempts at overtakes that are not quite there. And at this point, I've got both of these overtakes, but as you're about to see literally any moment now, I'm going to be shown a penalty board for those slightly dubious attempts at passes, which is probably fair. Some of those moves were maybe a bit atrocious. Now going down into the chicane. Again, a slow exit by the number 30, I think, kart, and a slightly compromised line through the first chicane. Little look down the inside of the first hairpin, but thought better of it at the end of the day. And I think at this point I did realise I had quite a significant straight line speed advantage. So going into the hairpin, just got to make a lunge. And made it stick, moving over to the middle of the track, making sure no one can get the switch back on me, and then Bob's your uncle. We are through. And at this point, lots of clear track in front of us. No way I was going to be able to catch this gap by the end of the race. So I think at this point, it was all about the defense. Not quite sure how much time's left in this race, but gonna have to do our best to hold on to this lead of this train. Slightly shocking exit. Shake of the head there as I bounce off a couple of barriers. And I think at this point, at least from what I can tell from that look over the shoulder, there may have been a bit of a gap starting to form. I think the cars behind had started to fight each other, and that gave me an opportunity to just drive away a little bit. And as you can see there, going down the ramp, quite a gaggle of cars. And I'm not sure actually where I ended up, like on track. Finishing. It could have been pretty high up. As you can see, a slower car. I'm not sure if they were having issues or just slowing down to retire. I'm not really sure. But yeah, the kart felt good. The car felt really good. And unfortunately after this heat, I was told I had to swap karts, which was a massive shame because it was one, a warm kart, and two, a kart that felt pretty quick. Through the corners on the straights, it was a nice one. And getting thrown from a warmed up kart with warm tyres, warm brakes. You've been getting used to how the pedals are, you've been getting used to how it steers and everything like that, and then you're thrown into a different kart instantly, and it's not ideal, to say the very least. I understand why they had to do it. I think the battery was low or something along those lines, but it was a massive shame because going into the third heat, you are going to instantly see the difference. I could not hit an apex to save my life. It's doing pretty decent. Shame to have the penalty, but at the end of the day, the stewards are... they're going to marshal it how they're going to marshal it, and at the end of the day, there's not a lot you can do about it. Not a lot you can do about it. So, as we're just pulling in for one final time to just outside the pit lane. How they actually organise this, so I'm just going to skip ahead to whatever the next interesting part is that I can find. And here we are, back again.
Got my hopes up.
Being pushed back into the pit lane.
Am I leaving it here?
Not quite sure where to park. I had no idea if I was right leaving my cart there or not, but yeah, and at this point, into the Deathmobile we go.
Yeah, 35.
And just having a bit of fun with one of the marshals. Lots of contact, as per. And I think we probably maintained position with an early yellow flag. Just moving in front of this guy to make sure he's not trying any shenanigans under the yellows. And at this point, just trying to get the tyres nice and warm while we've got a yellow. And I think I had a bad reaction time to it going green again, because at this point you can see about 3 cars were about to overtake me. Just sort of making sure the car behind me can't get past on the straight. Not going to make a dive bomb into there, that would be absolutely nuts. But when you're going to go that wide through the chicane, you can be damn sure I'm going to send it down the inside of turn 1, as previously stated. A bit of a freebie overtake as long as you're on side, or alongside, I should say. Just moving forward, trying to get a bit closer to the cars in front. As you can see, other than me and the 2 cars in front of me, the rest of the pack have absolutely fucked off. As it turns yellow, we are now watching the lights very carefully. As you can see, I'm looking all the way over the gap to the very next available light box that I can see, just to make sure that I'm not getting caught out while there's no light boxes directly in my sort of front-facing vision. And as we're going through the combat cart section, you'll be able to see I am sliding all over the place, clipping apexes, just braking a bit early, and generally not having a fun time with this whole kart. I think I did pretty well to defend the driver behind. He's a very quick driver. As you can see, I'm going defensive already, and you can see just how close he is getting. He's a very quick driver, and just holding him behind, I think I did quite a decent job. Again, going through this chicane, another yellow flag, unfortunately. Would have liked to be able to carry some speed down to the first corner, but alas, such is life. And as it goes green again at probably the worst possible time as we're going into a hairpin. I am literally fighting for my life. Didn't go defensive that time. Didn't think there was really a need. He wasn't particularly close, but coming through the straight before the double right, he's gained a lot of ground on me. As you can see, he's right there. And going through the chicane, we've gained a little bit of ground on him. But it's so hard to keep a quick driver like this guy behind on a cold kart. Going into the hairpin, this will be another chance for him, so I'm going to go slightly defensive. At the end of the day, it is quite difficult to make an overtake around this track without going for an enormous dive bomb on the car in front, so knowing this, I know I don't have to go too crazily defensive. After a terrible couple of corners, he's now right behind me. Going through this double left, which is arguably my weakest couple of corners on the track. He is very, very close. We're going to go defensive in the middle of the track. Trying to just limit that inside option for him. And it has worked again. Through the chicane now, very, very wide, and I've sort of squeezed him into the barriers there, which was a bit unfair because he was alongside, so I've given him the place and then immediately shunted into him. Unfortunately, but yeah, I feel like he deserved that spot. I made the mistake, I went a bit too wide and then sort of closed him off, which was a bit egregious, so I feel like he did deserve the place. Just a shake of the head, pretty poor couple of corners there. And I'm pretty sure it's uneventful to the end. So I think I will leave you with that, and we'll skip to the end. And as we are pulling up into the pit lane for the second to last time, I think we ended up getting called to almost the principal's, not the principal's office. What is it in F1? The steward's office. That's what it's called. The steward's room. You ended up getting called to the steward's room. The whole grid, just for a bit of a finger wag. Just saying. Yeah. Naughty, naughty. Too much contact on the starts. So, yeah, we're gonna... yeah, we're just gonna skip to the final race now. And, I will see you then. The end of my first edited video. The other video on my channel, which is the Daytona Tamworth one. Obviously, no editing for that one. Literally just a dump of video. And I'm going to try and do more of these. Getting a GoPro at some point in the near-ish future. So I can record my Club 100 races, which I have been enjoying very much. But yeah. No, going to be more videos coming. Also going to be trying to do some sim racing stuff. But we'll see how it goes. So thank you everyone for watching. And I'll see you in the next one. In a bit. Actually, I lied. We're not gonna skip ahead because it's over. It has finished, and with that, that is gonna be the end of my first edited video. The other video on my channel, which is the Daytona Tamworth one, obviously no editing for that one. Literally just a dump of video. And I'm gonna try and do more of these. Getting a GoPro at some point in the near-ish future, so I can record my Club 100 races, which I have been enjoying very much. But yeah, no, gonna be more videos coming. Also gonna be trying to do some sim racing stuff. But we'll see how it goes. So thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next one in a bit.